Hello, this is Stampy Longnose, and welcome to a Halo Reach gameplay commentary. I'm playing a game of Anniversary Team Slayer on the map Hang'em High, and this is a bit of a weird game. I played it a while ago, and I just sort of came across it now, and I get a huge amount of kills in it. I think I end up getting something like 23 kills, something like that, and I only get one death throughout this entire game. And unfortunately though, the enemy team have enough of dying, and before the end of the game they do quit out, so it does end slightly prematurely. I think there's only something like 7 kills in it until the end of the game, so you don't miss out on that much. But it's still a bit of an annoying end to the game, but it doesn't really matter because I'm not going to be talking about the gameplay too much anyway. Instead, what I want to discuss is what would happen if Halo 4 comes out and it sucks. And I'm not saying that I think it will suck, I don't want it to suck, I'm actually pretty excited about it and I do think it will be a good game. But let's just imagine for one moment Halo 4 comes out and you load it up and you go online and it's awful. You can almost get no fun from it whatsoever. It's basically unplayable, it's glitchy, it's buggy, it's got inherent design faults, and you basically can't play it online, like, because there's no point, because there's no enjoyment which you can get out of it at all. What would happen to the Halo community then? What would the hardcore Halo guys like me that have been playing Halo for 10 years, what would they do? And that's what I want to talk about in this commentary. And I think that the first thing that would happen is everyone would kind of split into two. I think about half of the people would persevere and try and defend the game. People like that were defending Halo Reach when it first came out, they'll say like, well, at least they tried to change it, at least they tried to freshen it up. It's the first game they've made. Halo 5 will probably be better. It's not all that bad. We can't only have it your way. I think half the people would be in that attitude, and the other half would just be pissed. They'll be really, really angry, and they'll be saying, oh, well, I'm done with Halo. 343 Industries ruined it. Bring back Bungie. I'm not even going to care about Halo 5. I'm going to go back to the glory days and play a previous Halo. Maybe go back to play something like Halo 3, possibly go back to playing Reach, or even go back to playing Halo 2 using that Connect thing on the PC. So I think that's the way the two halves would go, and I think people will mainly move back to Halo 3 if they don't want to play Halo 4. I don't think many people will go back to Reach, but unfortunately playing Halo 3 now isn't the same as it used to be, mainly because it takes so long to get into a game if you're playing ranked or something, and the people you play against are normally a bit weird. They're either really, really good at the game because they've been playing like Halo 3 for years, or they're absolute noobs because they just picked it up for like £5 because they got an Xbox, or they're sort of hacking or boosting and stuff. So I don't think that the community going back to a previous Halo game will last in sort of the extent that they ever used to be. And I think the people that sort of persevered with the game and sort of like really did want the game to be good and sort of try to defend it as much as they could, would try and start up a petition or start like hassling 343 Industries to try and change the game. They want them to update it, they want them to fix any bugs and glitches, and they want them to try and make the game playable, because they basically won't be able to accept the fact that a Halo game has been released that they won't be able to play and won't be able to get any enjoyment out of it. And then I think eventually what would happen if Halo 4 is really bad and like no one actually wants to play it, people are just going to have to move to another game. They're going to have to eventually stop playing Halo unless they can like sort of stomach playing another 3 years of Halo Reach or Halo 3 or something. And I think there's a good chance people would move over to Call of Duty. Black Ops 2 is coming out just around the same time as Halo 4. I do think a decent amount of people, as much as they wouldn't admit it now, might move over to the Call of Duty franchise. And I can't think of that many games like Halo 3 which are sort of available. I think it's a bit more like an arena shooter like Quake or Unreal Tournament, much more than it's like a military shooter like Battlefield or Call of Duty. So I think people will sort of migrate into a large different area of games. I think that there isn't just sort of one game where all the Halo people will move to. There will be people still playing Halo 3 and Reach every now and again, but I think eventually most people are just going to have to move to another game. And everything that I've spoke about so far is talking about what would happen if Halo 4 is critically a bad game. What if the fans don't like it? But what if the game is just a really big commercial flop? I think that with a game as big as Halo 4, as big as it's going to be, with all of the huge expectations, I think that if it sold anything less than 1 million copies worldwide, it would seem like a failure in the eyes of the fans, it would seem like a failure in the eyes of Microsoft and 343 Industries, and I think there'd be a very serious debate about whether Halo 5 would actually be made, whether they'd still carry on with this trilogy that they've promised. And I think that if it actually sold under 500,000 copies worldwide, I think there's a very good chance they would actually not make Halo 5. And I think that if they didn't make Halo 5, I don't think that would be the end of the Halo franchise. I just think that would be the start of a break from the Halo franchise. I think they'd wait for probably about 5, maybe up to 10 years, and then there'd be a big revitalise, there'd be a big reboot of the franchise, and maybe on the 15th anniversary or something, they'll try to release another Halo game to sort of try and get fans back to it. But But I think that if they didn't make Halo 5, there'd be quite a big gap where there wouldn't be any other Halo games released. But I do think that even if it isn't a big success, they will still carry on with Halo 5, but they'll just try to redo a lot of things and change everything that would be wrong with Halo 4 if it did actually happen to be wrong. So I think that the thing to take from this, and the thing to take from everything that I've said, is that with Halo 4, there will be things that you like and there will be things that you don't like. Just be grateful that everything that I've spoke about in this video isn't actually going to happen. Probably. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.